Hello. This is the replacement. So hopefully it's working okay. So replacement. There is a replacement YouTube go live at youtube.com/Walt Trading Profits. My apologies. The link cancelled itself. Nothing I can do about it. So this is the best alternative. I'm live on Go Live now at the YouTube channel at Football Trading Profits. Okay. Thanks. New link at YouTube. Okay. Right. So I hope one or two of you have got the message. Red card for Osasuna. I thought it was a red card for Mallorca. That is a pity. A real opportunity there for them to have got back into the match. Disappointing from Osasuna. Thanks for that, Michael. Everything looks okay, I think. Sorry for the square in the corner. That's the web. So bang goes that plan, but getting involved at 0-2. So let's just get back on building up a head of steam after the goal. 11 shots off, 5 corners. Bang. So bye-bye to that. Avellino have been knocking on the door. Do they have any motivation in Serie B? Can I get to it? It looks as if this is a bit stuck. Got a suspended market. Is that Estac Trois again? I'm just going to collect my odds on favourites as I was doing prior to 3 o'clock. Time, do watch out. If I disappear, I'll hop on Go Live. It seems we might have a dip in the Wi-Fi in the early evening. It's totally out of my control, I'm afraid. It's been a brilliant Wi-Fi all week, so I've been hopeful it could remain weekend when things do get a little bit busier. Look decent against Wrexham today. You never know in the cup. And Estac Trois doing, and Saint-Etienne must respond. Got to respond to that win from Estac Trois. And indeed, Le Mans putting pressure on Red Star especially. Those covered for the odds-ons. So that'll do fine there. So they go into the My Games facility here. So we'll have an alert whenever there's a goal. So I hope you're all okay over on YouTube. If there's anyone coming along. And if it does go, my apologies. It's out of my hands. So let's just have a quick scoot through the in-play stats. It's a bit right, 0-0 at half-time. Okay. Südtirol and Virtus Entella, where are they? Virtus Entella are just above the relegation zone, so could do with 3 points. And Südtirol, I can't see. Well, they're 9th, so they go into the 40-point club with a win. So it's more important for Virtus Entella, this one. As you can see, the 3 o'clocks are starting to populate. Been a little quiet, but it's getting a bit busy. Freiburg and Leverkusen. Leverkusen been pretty weak goal scorers of late. Could be a good opportunity for Freiburg with that decent home form to do something. Stuttgart, well, they are the better side, and it looks as if they're just starting to broaden the gap between themselves and Mainz, as you can see there with the in-play stats. So just a small group of matches at the moment. 3 o'clocks will be with us very soon. Spezia and Monza looks an obvious play, doesn't it, for the second half? With that red card in play as well. If Spezia score the next goal, draw odds are going to rise very nicely. Got to keep an eye on the Hoff because they were uncharacteristically quiet, similar today. One shot on, one shot off. Right, hello everyone. Yeah, I can't do anything about the internet. It's been brilliant all week, and as you can understand, this is a weekend now in a tourist city, so I'm doing my very best. Hopefully we can work through. I don't know which screen you're referring to is blurred, but the one on the bottom right, that's just the webcam I've covered. So hopefully you can see all of the other screens. Do let me know if you can't. So fingers crossed we can get through this and pick out a play or two as well. Looks like Freiburg are warming up nicely against Bayer Leverkusen. We've got a suspended market. Probably the Wolf have scored first against Hamburg in a tough to call match. I don't have an opinion on this one. Both sides, Wolfsburg could do with the points more than Hamburg, up and waiting. So that's with the red cards in play. It's a very strange market, isn't it? I did this at 0. Oh, we've got a goal back. Fabulous. Now, is there one more in the locker for Osasuna? They always score, don't they? And Mallorca always concede. So that's just arrived, that Osasuna goal. That's why I couldn't pass it on to you. It hasn't. Oh, I got rid of the match. So that's fair enough. One more goal and we can salvage something out of this. What a pity that 1-2 didn't remain with the Mallorca red card only, because you'd have got a decent bump in the odds. We need a bit of Fergie time now for Osasuna, but they've done what we expected, and that's to score. But the problem is they've shot themselves in the foot. And Augsburg have missed a penalty, which could have been a possible trading angle in. I'll just share that tab with you there. As you can see there, a missed penalty for Augsburg. Could cost them dearly, that, with Leipzig. Tough side to beat at home. You don't want to be giving up those kind of treats. Back, but we do need a significant amount of Fergie time. So get the old prayer mat out and hope that we can get that 2-2. Mallorca aren't used to winning, particularly. Other my games, okay. Now I'm interested as well in, I've been looking at odds around about 1.9 to 2.1. Nearly an odds-on lay. Now, you want to have a look at those performance of those today. You might see some interesting results. These kind of odds here. Evens 1.85 to about 2.1. Sod's law, of course, they'll all be winning today. But that's the kind of thing there. 2.2 where they're leading. 2.15 for Zagreb later on. 1.8 remains 0-0. Could be something to use a staking plan with if you can get a lay of odds, a lay of evens. Into that nicely, wouldn't it? 1.91. The market's telling you on form they're probably the better size, but they're not the best away from home. So, we've got another goal. Hopefully that's 2-2. No, it's not. There's the Hoff goal. As usual, they are back up and running. The mighty Hoff. Not looking at their best stats-wise, but I suppose the drop in quality of opponent is marked. In a season of 3-goal games, you're not going to be expecting them to have a barren 2 consecutive matches. Spezia and Monza, as Michael has mentioned, look at Monza now. Possibility to go top with a win, but they are down to 10. Spezia in the wrong part of the league. A win, though, takes them all the way out. We do need Spezia to score, though. Pre-match, evens for Monza. Again, that's one of those odds that I look at. Yeah, no surprise there with the mighty Hoff getting back to goal-scoring ways. How would we have played this otherwise? Well, I'm not sure. Goal before half-time, after 20 minutes, particularly against this lot. So missed a bit of a trick there. Wolfsburg and Hamburger, well, both teams tend to score in Hamburg home matches. They look a bit wobblier away from home. So we'll wait for the second half to begin. Avellino and Padova, a bit mid-table-ish. Como, the only thing that would upset Como would be another 1-1, I think. And with Cagliari on 2 consecutive draws and an ability to keep this tight, Como will need 2 goals or more, as they scored against Lecce and Juve recently, to get a comfortable win. No surprises there with the mighty Hoff. Freiburg have been making the right noises, but they are playing a decent enough fellow top 8 team, but no shots on target yet for Bayer Leverkusen. Mainz and Stuttgart, it could go either way, but as you can see, just a subtle change in momentum in favour of the away side, and just a subtle 2 shots on, 2 shots off, 4 corners, just starting to edge away from Mainz, Stuttgart. So it could be a good day for the away team if that continues. Wolfsburg and Hamburg, as I say, would prefer both teams to score at home, Hamburg, but we will see. Will Augsburg and Mainz have opened the scoring against Stuttgart now? Is that going to be our angle in? They are in decent nick. Has it been disallowed? It has been disallowed. That's a pity. Could be an interesting trading angle into that one. Let's have a look at what's coming. Coventry away from home. Not the bankers they've been at home, but they were very impressive away at Sheffield United when not fancied, and when Sheffield United were really putting it up to them. 2 second-half goals there got the win. So they could surprise today. Derby County, you're expecting them to be booking 3 points today against the Owls. And Ipswich could be a tough encounter with Leicester City in unknown territory in the relegation zone. Sheffield United and West Brom, no strong opinion with any of these. Working my way down. Luton and Reading is an important match for both. So that's going to be, I hope, a late lay the draw. Cambridge United have been a side to follow. They've had an ability to come from behind. So could be a good trading side today against Bristol Rovers. Moving our way down. Don't see any interest in Scotland today. Well, St Johnstone are away at Greenock Morton, top of the league. St Johnstone at 3 o'clock. Spanish La Liga in Portugal. None of the big boys are out. Nantes and Angers. So it's mid-table mediocrity today. Atalanta look good against Udinese today at 5 o'clock. I would be fancying them. Derby match in Turkey, Besiktas and Galatasaray. FC Köln against Dortmund. Köln are likely to give a good account, but Dortmund have been a very decent side to rely upon. Talking of relying upon, when Atletico Madrid normally tend to be reliable at home. And I quite fancy Chelsea under Rosinha away at Wrexham if they're up for the cup, of course, unless they make multiple changes. With the results earlier on, Frestac Trois, Saint-Etienne and Red Star are going to have to pull their finger out. One of them is going to have to nab the 3 points because it's getting congested at the top, and with only minimum automatic promotion spots, they're going to have to really go for it today at 7. Could be worth staying up for me, that one, I think. Later on, Juventus against Pisa, 0-0. It's always in play for Pisa, as is the occasional 2-2. Newcastle, a recent win, but this is the cup later on. And Barcelona look very decent. They are a juggernaut at the moment. And Atletico Bilbao are all over the shop. This is one of those derby-style matches. It's why it's a little lukewarm on Barca, but on paper, man, they're good. 3 o'clocks are now with us. So let's take a quick look through the stats as they just upgrade and pick in some 3 o'clocks that I'd like to keep a tab on. I'll just make sure you're all okay over on YouTube. Is it 2-2? No way. No way, Michael. No way. Oh, Christmas. I haven't got confirmation yet. Well, if Michael says it's 2-2, I believe him. Fabulous stuff from Osasuna. VAR doesn't show up. I'm waiting to get to the S's. It is. Oh, look at that. A thing of beauty. Thank you very much, Michael. Who is going on my Christmas card list? Let's take a look. Who's going on my Christmas card list for this December? The suspense is killing me. It's Budimir, the mighty Budimir. Never heard of him, but he's going to get a Christmas card. Fabulous stuff. And it just goes to show, doesn't it? You can have a 0-2 lead, but when you haven't been winning often enough, it just gets ever so difficult to cross the line. You tend to shoot yourself in the foot with a red card. Brilliant stuff from Osasuna. That gets me out of jail because I got involved at 0-1. So delighted. Well, thanks very much for that good news, Michael. It's nice to know that we've got an Osasuna equaliser. Freiburg have opened up against Bayer Leverkusen. That's not unexpected, is it? You saw them in Freiburg in. Bayer Leverkusen have just not hit the nail on the head. They're not the Xavi Alonso Bayer Leverkusen. Yeah, 2-2, fantastic stuff. And the Fergie time we prayed for did indeed arrive. So that is fabulous stuff. Blackpool opening goal against Wigan Athletic. I'll probably be playing these lower tiers today with a reaction at half-time, I think, unless there's an emphatic 2-goal lead to an underdog against a side who, with 3 points, will go into the promotion playoffs, that kind of a thing. That's the kind of scenario I would be looking keenly at. But we get our odds-on favourites turning up here. So I hope you can see all of the pages I'm going to, or if you're not stuck on just the one. So let's try share this tab instead. That's no. Oh, here we go. Connection is unstable, so just be careful. Okay. Connection is unstable against Westerlo. Oh, I'm not sure what's going on here. Can you still see and hear me? Just let me know, please, if you can, because I don't know. I can't refresh this screen. So let me know. Thank you, Michael. Thank you very much. It's just it looks frozen. That's the only reason. So thank you for that confirmation. Brilliant. And, well, equaliser by Leverkusen. Not a match I had a tradable outcome on, apart from possibility of the opening goal for Freiburg. But it's a difficult one to unpack, as I think the market would have suggested as well. Second half is beginning for Spezia and Monza. Probably not going to get much value at the moment. Look at that. And had they got the nail on the head, and that's with 10 men. So it is really good frank form, I think, from Osasuna. And that's why I do the research, because I told you they're in excellent home form. And the Mallorca are conceding in the last 11. So good stuff. I'm 3 out of 3 so far today, but this was the nearest to a loss. Estac Trois to add to that. Paderborn +1 earlier on. So doing okay. I don't want to jeopardise my profits. The draw odds are 2.62 Spezia and Monza. Does that represent value for you? That's the question. Because the red-carded side are the better side. Of course, they're second in the league. But they've got that red card. Do check. That will cover that, because the liability on Mainz will be shorter. But I might be away with the fairies on that one, I think. Do keep an eye on Spezia. But it's best to look for the real. If you did get Spezia, well done. It was what was that? 2.62. That's pretty decent, wasn't it? You're seeing a lot of noise from Avellino in 14th. I don't know why they're targeting this one, but they look good, don't they? Do you trust Italian Serie B for a lay the draw? Let's just have a, well, no, can't look. This is part of the problem. If I can't get just a quick look at the recent form, which is very poor, and a quick look at where they are. But keep an eye on them. They can continue like this. That draw could be gettable against a Padova. Just a goal in the Czech Republic. So Avellino catches the eye. We're not seeing anything, are we, from Como today? That's the problem with that 0-1 lead and that over-reliance on defence for Cesc Fabregas. He's been caught out with a few 1-1s this season, and they've been kept very, very quiet by Cagliari. Get rid of the mighty Hoff now. Back to their 2-3 goal ways. Possibilities of this stretching a bit later on with the European places in mind, particularly for Freiburg needing to take points off Bayer Leverkusen and edge towards the 40-point club. That's where European football lies. Leipzig, as I say, it's a difficult one to unpack. They're not in the best form of late, but the market really fancied them today. And Augsburg, 5 wins in 6. It's a difficult one. Mainz and Stuttgart as well. I would be more inclined, if I was to take a risk, to risk a Stuttgart equaliser against Mainz. That top 6 and only 1 defeat since the 14th of December as well. Really standing out. But that catches the eye. 38 attacks to 9. Yeah, fair enough. But the quality of their shots, the expected goals ratio, pretty poor for them there. So I'll have a think about Mainz earlier on. We've got a red card, Bohemians against Slovan Liberec. You can keep an eye on that one, I suppose, in the Czech Republic. Let's move on down. It should be in alphabetical order. And you can see just taking a while to populate. So we're going to go down to C for the Czech Republic. Be around here. No, that's England. Just to see if there's going to be a reaction from Bohemians. You might get a decent value lay the draw because there's a red card involved. 10 men score first. No, they're not. Haven't got the stats here for the Czech one leg, so I'm not going to be sweating it too much. So nothing to worry about there. Was this a red card? Ross County red against Arbroath, away at Arbroath as well. Scottish Championship, I'm not sure whether I've got rid of my Scottish Championship or not, because it's a low liability, not low liability, but it's got questionable liquidity. So if you did want to play, but there's the Scottish Premier League. I'll see if I can get the Championship. And keep an eye on any reaction if that red card stands from Arbroath, who happen to be in third place. So it's not registered yet, but it has come up here. The Ross County red card. So looking at third place could be a decent angle. Pre-match odds, 2.1 the favourite. So it's just slightly favoured at home. They're on an unbeaten run of 4 Arbroath, hopefully not collecting 0-0s. Well, just the one coming away. 1-1 against Ayr, 4-2 against Dunfermline at home. So possibilities here with Arbroath, I think. And the Bohemians red card, well, the Czech Republic have already stopped that. Sound but no pictures. Right. More than one ingestion is using a primary URL. Right. I think I know what the problem is. Right. I'm hoping I'll keep the sound going then. I do apologise for this. As you know, it's out of my control. It's been fixed this week, but we are talking about midnight now, locally, where I am. I can't confirm. Let me know if you can see the pictures. Otherwise, I'm just going to head to Telegram because we've got a long way to go if it continues to buffer. Accrington have scored first against Cambridge United. Are you happy to hear? Would you be okay hearing at least? And then I can be more descriptive maybe when I'm talking. Hopefully we'll get an image back soon. So I'll work my way through. I'll be just going to keep an eye out on the odds on favourites. No pictures, but you can still hear. Yeah, I do apologise, Chris and everybody else. There's nothing I can do. It's been working brilliantly all week, as I say. With blurred image now. Okay. Any refresh. So that's the Wi-Fi I'm using, and it's very steady Wi-Fi. The other Wi-Fi is on my telephone, and that will break the connection. So I am sorry. It's the best I can do. You know what I've been through, and this is the remnants of it. Accrington Stanley against Cambridge United. Not disallowed. We've got an opening goal for Accrington, and we know how decent Cambridge have been to follow recently. So I'm just going to wait for in-play guru to load. It's frustrating to get the Wi-Fi like this because it's just been very quick. You saw last week I couldn't even load Football 24. Bolton against Wickham. I've got to check these matches out as well to see whether they're of importance, and that's what's slowing me down a little bit. I'm not getting the live streams up. Good reaction from Arbroath to going a goal down. Let's go to the red card. So are you willing to play first half or just wait? It's only £3,000 match, though, which is not enough. I'll get rid of that and hopefully That will be okay. Third image now. Okay. So let me just see if I can do a catch up, because we've got to keep an eye on the leagues, but it's a slogging through mud, I'm afraid, at the moment. Lots and lots of nil-nils. How are our odds on favourites getting? Well, Derby are in all sorts of bother. Surely that's going to be sorted out. Ipswich are yet to score. Sheffield United odds on yet to score. Yet to score. Bolton a goal down to Wickham in League One. So that's one I will keep an eye on. They did us a solid midweek, coming from behind in the cup to win. They look as if they're in the mood today, Luton. That interests me. 10th against 8th. They do need to take points off 8th place Reading. They do need to take points off 8th place Reading. So as you can see there, good reaction. I quite profile here, given that I got a winner from the midweek as well. And that's a 1 favourite as well. So that is all brewing up nicely, I think, there. I'll just see if we can get that momentum to rise again for Luton Town. That could potentially interest me there. Osasuna earlier on. Delighted with that. Just going to bring that match in. Luton Town Reading one. It could see. If they're anything like they were in the cup midweek, it could be a nice quick in and out. 1.13 is low enough to lay. I will do that now. And then I'll just hold on for a little bit longer. Luton +1, what's that going to look like? Well, it's the kind of odds which suggest that the market still favours them to do something. Anything under 1.8 in this market is a good sign. Match odds, 3.2 to back Luton to lay Reading. It's one of those important playoff 6-pointers, though. So it's a difficult one. That's why I've just laid over 0.5 goals, over 1.5 goals, just to make sure that that's covered. And if we can hold on for a nil on for a wee bit longer to just confirm that Luton are in the kind of a mood to get that quick equaliser. Hope you're okay over on YouTube still. Apologies if the image is blurry. Commentary's fine. Thank you very much, Nick. I appreciate that. I hope to get this fit. But I'm using the Wi-Fi of the local condo, which if you had it last week, it was non-existent. So I didn't have a live stream last week. So we're making improvements every week. I might need a bit of a Bonnie Tyler moment. Okay. So let's do a catch up with our odds on. See goals. Bradford odds on. Interested in is the odds on favourites to goal down, like Plymouth against Doncaster, just to see whether there's going to be a reaction like the Luton Town one. So this is English League One again. Plymouth, I will have a look at. I'm going to be very cautious with these lower tiers. Doncaster with very little response from Plymouth, in stark contrast to Luton Town, as you saw. English League Two. That interests me as well. Accrington and Cambridge United. I think I've got the Accrington match up. No, I'm going to get English League Two. Accrington. Cambridge have been in decent. But they can blow hot and cold. They're the kind of side, when you back them, they lose. When you don't back them, they score 3, 4, 5 goals. One of those frustrating teams. Leading 1-1, MK Dons and Harrogate. This is not going the way of the market. Let's have a look at that one. MK Dons and Harrogate. And it's even Stevens for a 1.37 home favourite against, guess who? 24th in the league, could do with a point or two. We're getting that dig your heels, aren't we? But we'll see whether there's going to be anything doing here. And we've got an odds-on goal. Tough ask. It's going to have to be something a bit more akin to Luton Town. But we could do with Reading not collecting any more shots and not rising in the momentum again. So those are our odds-ons. They've got a story to them. It seems to be the underdog leading an unexpected draw with 3rd against 24th in League Two. Don't know why Swansea were favoured, but it looks like a match of equal. Swansea started off, then Stoke. Talk about working your way into the game. That's the typical working your way into the game momentum, that one. And Como got that second goal. I was a bit worried. Well, it's not a goal for Stoke. It's a red card. I was on favourite at home. Should do something. Oh, who was I to distrust the mighty Cesc Fabregas? Cagliari can be a tough nut to crack, though. So digging themselves a grave, but they do have that 2-goal habit against these mid-table sides. So that's one. Half time, they'll be delighted with that because away not as emphatic as at home, but they were brilliant against Sheffield United last week from out of nowhere, literally zoomed in, got the 2 goals and zoomed back out again. Ipswich Town, I'm going to bring that one up just to see what mood they're in at 1.49 at home. As I suspect, odds very strange against a newly relegated side who are only in the relegation zone because they've had points deducted, Leicester City. And that Leicester City are starting to build up some draws. So by no means a 1.49 the favourite match this match. And it's vindicated. It's even Stevens. This is one of those, could be the first team to score. It could be that important. Let's have a look at some of our other matches. Just waiting for these to develop now. An improved set of stats for the underdogs. For the likes of Cambridge can do the job today that they've been doing. A few of them coming from behind as well. Are letting Ross County in, so it's not one of the 3 top priority matches, that one. Sutil and Virtus Entella, 9th against 16th. 9th against 16th. Points required for both teams, really, for Sutil to move up. Very, very quiet momentum. Not one I'm too enamoured with. 6 shots on target, but most of them beginning of the first half. Sorry, end of the first half, beginning of the second half. So don't get tempted in. I'm glad I gave this a bit of a watching brief. Avellino are looking for 3 points, that's for sure. It will take them to 33, take them a bit further away from the relegation zone. But they've faltered a little. You always check the shot times. Okay. Target. They may do it late on. It could be a 1.09. Yeah, they've been putting on Padova. Well, we just saw that momentum rising again. That's what these graphs are like. You can start seeing Hamburg's momentum rising as well, suggesting they might be 1 over on the Wolf today. They're in the better place as well. Freiburg and Leverkusen, I might just let that one go.